Hello and welcome to Queenie's Card of the Month for the month of July 2013. Well, I was all excited to pull this card because I feel a lot of changes happening internally and externally, and I'm feeling like there will be changes happening. What's interesting was I was all excited and I was thinking, is this card going to be about change? Because things feel that way. The astrology for the time period is saying big changes are afoot, or we're doing another process of sloughing off and letting go and making room for something new and different. But what did I pull? Well, I pulled this little guy. He is the Fee Lion. The Fee Lion is about making sure that you pay attention to the details. So it kind of makes sense because we're in a time of maybe upheaval, chaos, change. You can tell in the news. I'm trying not to spend too much time plugged into that. But you can tell in the news that a lot of things are shifting and a lot of things are changing. A lot of things are coming to light. Well, when these things come to light, you can use the Fee Lion to make sure that you pay attention to the details. The Fee Lion is kind of cautious. He cautiously moves forward. He cautiously goes into change. He's not doing that because he's scared of it. He's doing that so that he makes sure that he doesn't leave anything behind. He's not trailing anything behind, or he's not... he's got all his T's crossed and his I's dotted so that he can freely go into the future, because actually, ultimately, this little guy is very playful. It's just that he wants you to finish what you started first. And you'll be able to tell by using your intuition, by checking in with yourself, which of the things that you started that need to be finished first before you can freely leap forward and play, as it were. So in a time of change like this, in times of chaos like this, sometimes we get a little flustered, and sometimes we kick into, especially when it feels like our survival is threatened, or it feels like our security is threatened. We have a tendency to go into survival mode, and survival mode doesn't necessarily pay attention to the details. Survival mode doesn't have that expanded vision that can see, oh, okay, well, I can let go and everything will be okay. And there's a lot of ways that if you're in this space, you don't feel like you can trust. But the Fee Lion helps you pay attention to the details, make sure that, well, I guess the other thing about it too, and it can relate to me talking about all the changes and sloughing off and letting go of the old and allowing the new in, is that the Fee Lion doesn't like to drag a lot of baggage behind, because it makes it very hard to leap and jump and fly and do its little feline things. And it's really hard to chase a ball or run around in circles really fast, and or as you know how cats do, sometimes they climb up the curtains and hang around at the top. Whoop. Anyway, it's hard to do that if you've got a lot of baggage, and baggage can be situations you've outgrown, thought patterns that you've outgrown, old ways of being that you've outgrown. And the Fee Lion talks about, really kind of letting go of those things, and it talks about paying attention to what you still might be dragging. Checking, my gas mileage isn't as good as it was, or I think it's getting worse, so maybe I should check it out here. But so this month is about, I guess it provides balance in a way when you are making these changes, or when you are allowing for these changes, or surrendering, or being drug kicking and screaming into the changes, which is a lot of our cases. I know sometimes there are certain aspects of my life that I get drug kicking and screaming into change. You would think because I'm making this video that I'm all perfect and crap, but that is not true, because I have some things that make me feel secure that I've had to let go of in the last year, or in the last couple of months even, that I would have never thought that it would be something that I would have to let go of. I would have never thought, but it was one of the details that was holding me back. So think about it this way. The feline tells you to be cautious, tells you to pay attention to details, because those details could hang you up later. So it's not about completely looking back or looking behind and getting pulled forward that way. It's about just paying attention, really. Just paying attention to how you feel about certain things. Paying attention to, if you're having a conversation with someone and something comes up, pay attention to how you feel about it. There are details in all of that you can pay attention to, and figure out, what the other areas are that you can release, so that you can move forward freely. Life has ups, downs, in between. Sometimes it's just going to suck, and sometimes it's just going to be fabulous, and sometimes it's just going to be kind of in between. That is normal. I think the problem that people get into is thinking that, okay, I'm going to flick this one switch and then everything is just going to solve itself and I'm going to be happy forever, right? That's going to be awesome. Well, it doesn't really happen that way. Some people, the more we're in the flow of our lives, the better things feel. But we're always still going to have certain things that hang us up, certain things that trigger us. It's just when you become aware of them by paying attention to the details, by paying attention to the feline, which is the details of your feelings too. When you become aware of what your triggers are, you can make different choices when it happens, or you can be clear about your communication when it happens. Especially if it happens with another person. You're like, oh, wow, okay, my feelings are totally out of proportion to what this situation is. What does that? Okay. And I know that not everybody wants to live that way. I like to be aware. I like to be very self-aware. I want to understand. I want to be aware of how I'm impacting my environment and how it's impacting me. And I suspect that there are a lot of you out there that actually take the time to watch these videos that think about that as well. Anyway, this was long enough. The feline, pay attention to the details of everything. Your emotions, things, people, whatever. Pay attention to those details. Don't drag the heavy stuff, easy for me to say, behind your body vehicle as you go. And have a wonderful month. And I look forward to August and seeing what's in store for us then. I love you very much. I will talk to you soon. If you're interested in sessions with me where I do intuitive coaching, and I'm kind of like that cheerleader that kind of can kick your ass, we can do it. We can do it over the phone. We can do it via Skype. We can do it in person if you live in my area. And I would love to check in with you and do some creative playing. Talk to you soon. Bye.